What would you make if I sent you an envelope filled with random papery bits? Feels a little bit weird to be wearing a cardigan. It's just the middle of August, but the weather's suddenly turned kind of cold and rainy. And this is one of the cardigans that I made last year as part of my 52 Finished Things project. And I'm really kind of nice to have an excuse to wear it. But today I'm getting ready to mail out the second batch of envelopes in my Take 10 Happy Mail art project. And I'm starting to receive back images of the things that people made in part one of this project, and I'd like to share some of those with you. I think there's going to be a part 2 to part 1, part B, part A, I don't know. But there's going to be another segment, but for now I'm going to share with you the first half of the things that I've received back, and I'll mail these out and we'll see what comes back in the second round as well. Let's take a look at what was in the envelope that I kept for myself. And each of the envelopes that I sent out had vaguely similar things, not identical, but similar things. For example, everybody got a little animal, but not the same animal. Everybody got a circle, but they were different sizes and colors. A black and white photograph, but different image. A card from Scotland, but again different images. A puzzle piece, and because they are puzzle pieces, they were all different. Transportation theme postage stamp. A word cut from a wall calendar, and of course the instructions and the envelope itself. And let's take a look at what some of the folks who joined in made. Linda made these two really fun, interesting figures with the bits that she got in her envelope, and there's some really detailed cutting there. And Marianne made a really fun little collage booklet with some stitched elements on the cover, and I really like the way that she used all the pieces that I sent her. Joanne made this junk journal spread in her book that she calls Making the Connection, and I know that there's a lot of personal symbolism and meaning to this piece that she made here. And Deborah made two masterboards. Now masterboards are a mixed media thing that's popular. They start out with a random torn paper collage, and then you stamp and use stencils to add more color on top, and eventually you cut these larger boards up and use them in smaller collages as backgrounds in smaller collages. And here's another book. Elaine made a witch's toolkit, and one of the things that I particularly enjoy is the way that she reworked some of the elements that she received in her envelope to fit her theme, and then she combined them with some images of her own to really create a personal and quite interesting book. Now I know that that white cat there is one of her own cats. I think this is a really cool personal way to take somebody else's materials and really make them your own. And Nancy Elf, the first Nancy in this group, has a really chaotic, hectic, busy schedule right now, and I really appreciate that she found some stolen moments of time to create this really sweet little collage page in her journal. And here's the second Nancy, who made 3 collages. One is about a 5x7, and it's got a definite transportation travel theme, and the other 2 are what are called artist trading cards. They measure exactly 2.5 by 3.5 inches, and they're meant to be traded and never sold. And I really like the way that she combined imagery to create meaning in those pieces. And Catherine created a set of really clearly connected greeting cards, and I really like the way that she used the materials and created her own shapes. Now Shalimar has this really brilliantly fun junk journal page, and it even has opening windows in the cottage. I love the colors in this one. And then Helen used what she called a no scissors approach to create varied layouts with the same materials. It's a really interesting approach to the project. And here's what I made. I got really excited when I realized that the little square of fabric could be folded up to make a pouch that would fit the square puzzle piece, but in the end I didn't end up using the square puzzle piece. I did use it as a template to create these little mini collage cards that I have here. And there's 12 of them all together. And I tried to limit myself to just things that were in my envelope. And one of the things that I noticed when I was filming this video is it had the letters D, A, and then on the front of my envelope there was the letter W. So I'm just missing the letter N. And then on the back of the cards I drew these little flowers, and my set of 12 cards fits really nicely in my pouch. The only things that I ended up not using were the black and white photo, the puzzle piece, and the circle. And so that's part one. I'm still expecting more images from other people in this group, but I'd like to get this video up soon, so there will likely be a part two. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and if you're interested in joining in a future version of this project, send me a message and I'll let you know how to get hooked up.